Haters are just gonna hate. It's what they do. But I could still send them a message, and I did, by slapping one of these beauties on the back of my ride. You can get yours at the same place I got mine. Link in the description. Also, new merchandise to come in the future. Thanks, and remember, don't worry about the haters. Just let the haters worry about you. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's roll. Okay, let's see. Need some more filler content. I think I'll go for a knife video. You know what? This is the next box in the rotation. I'm gonna get this box right here. What's going on, kings and queens? God, that's such a cringy intro. All right, so let's check this out. This is gonna be video. Got some more goodies. What do we got? Okay, so far I can tell you this is gonna be like some of my upper tier folders. All right. Well, hey, time to break them out. Excuse me. All right, so let's start off. This here is a Swiss Army knife. I bought this at a surplus store that was in my local town for a very short amount of time. It was all camouflage. He said it came in with a whole bin full of stuff, and I bought it. And it's got all the goodies that a Swiss Army knife's got. It's got the bottle opener, and it's got the whatever that's for. Small little blade, the main blade, screwdriver, all AWL. So there's that. What's next? Okay, this was actually an EDC, believe it or not. I carry this in just kind of off and on. This is a case trapper. It's because it's a case trapper. So what's next? Okay, I got a cold steel. I carry this one pretty extensively. When I first got into knives, I started packing this around. This is the Scimitar. This thing is just a cut and full. Never sharpened it before. I've carried this quite a bit, actually. Might actually start carrying it again. Kind of Cold Steel was making some different knives from different cultures, and they were making different types of knives, ancient knives, that were designed on ancient knives. They made the Irish knife, and so the Scimitar. I thought, oh, this is a pretty cool knife. I saw some articles about it, and actually for a while at the gun shows, I saw some guy making Kydex holsters for them. You can put them in folded. I should have picked one of them guys up, that's for sure. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. I carry this one pretty extensively. This is a Masters of Defense. I think it could have been a division of Blackhawk, because later on Blackhawk began to make a lot of these designs. And another company recently went ahead and started picking them up. I don't know if they're making them from old parts or not, but they began to make a few of these that are actually a frame lock form, and they're showing a lot of potential. And I hope they stay with it. It's a pretty cool endeavor, because somebody needs to carry the torch on these things. So there's another one I got here. K-bar. The K-bar. I don't know I forgot what that's called. But it comes with a little sheath. There's a series of clips and things it came with, and I don't know what happened to that stuff. So there's the K-bar. What's in the Kershaw box? Oh yeah, I remember this guy. This is actually made in USA, printed in USA. Kershaw Quality Guarantee, Pete Kershaw. This is older. This is around, I want to say this is around 2001-ish. I got this on closeout at my local knife shop. I never carried this. I always more or less kept it in the box. I think maybe like carried it one day. I knew some gal here in town. She had one that was rounded, and she actually carried hers. And I asked her to see her knife, and I said, "Yeah, I got a similar knife with that design, but it's a beak design." It's engraved on the side here. It says Oregon, USA 1422 ST. You can see that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, piece of history. Uses like a machine bolt for the thumb stud. I got a kick out of it, but I don't want to beat it up. I just, I just keep it in the box. And this one here, I beat the snot out of it. It's a Recon 1, and I decided to get real stupid one day, and there's a piece of steel wire we use for the baler. And so I decided to do is put the wire right here, close the knife blade, and like try to cut it like a piece of pliers, and it actually chipped the blade. So if you guys are wondering about the chip on that blade, it's misuse. The guy I know at work said, well, you could probably send that back and have him replace it for you. And it's like, I'm misusing it. I'm not doing what it was designed for. But this thing's pretty cool. It had a nice smooth opening to it, and I carried it, put quite a few miles on it, that's for sure. I carried it quite a bit. And let's see, what do we got here? We got this big guy. This is a Benchmade. It comes in a like a glittery looking white grayish box, and this is like a special edition series they made. I wish I would have got the 690, but those were like gone. Okay, the 690 in this version was gone, but it's kind of that kind of fell in. That's whatever, but I never carried it. It's actually the Gents Folder. It's number 323 out of 500 by Mel Pardue, and it has like a pocket wood bolster with a faux ivory scale and a pocket wood back. Pretty smooth action. It has a real staunch looking liner for what it is too. But I never packed that. I thought, well, maybe if I ever wore it to a formal occasion. I just never put it on. I just kept it in the box. So what's another one? We got another Benchmade. This is the one that got me into upper end production knife collecting, and I dwelled forever on whether or not I need to buy this or not, but I finally bought it, and then I didn't realize that it's going to be like a weekly occurrence or bi-weekly occurrence. And I carry this thing, and I beat on this thing hard. I was cutting sealing material. I mean, I was doing all kinds of stuff with this thing. And this is the November 2000 Millennium Edition Benchmade Aries. And what it was, the regular Aries had like a reddish orange color, reddish rust color, and black G10. And this had a green and black G10. Eventually they came back and made more of them. But back then you can only get it in a all black G10 or a green and black G10. But this is a pretty comfortable knife, pretty fast, little quick action, and very smooth. And I carry this thing a lot, and I eventually retired it. I just didn't want to lose it. So put that up here. What's this one over here? We got TAC. Okay, this is the 690 carbon fiber. This is the one I told you about. Now I have the first run production 690. What came out later with the regular 690 was, I noticed when I held mine up to the next run that wasn't first run production, the blade was a little bit taller and the thumb stud was spaced a little further out, and I think that was probably so I could get more purchase on the thumb stud. And the wood was a little less drier. It was more infused with some sort of resin. I think it was easier to buff and treat afterward. But I carried this off and on, a little bit of light use. I didn't go too crazy with it. But I like this because this reminded me at the time of one of Alan Elischiwitz's regular knife designs when he was doing the Matrix series. Didn't have the 5 holes on the top or none of that, but it had the carbon fiber bolster with the wood handle. I think in real life he used to use ironwood, and I wish I would have bought one of those back when they were only $300. But this is the first run production they came out with, and of course eventually I retired that one. I didn't want to destroy that either, so I'll put this one over here. And so let's see here. This is a 710 axis lock. Okay, this is the Mchenry Williams. This is actually the second one I bought. I like this. This was actually, the one thing about this knife, it had kind of the best of all worlds wrapped into one. It had a longer blade, had nice ergonomics. It was, filled out the hand really good. I used this thing a lot. I kind of beat this thing up pretty good and wound up sharpening it again. And once again, I retired it. I had enough knives to play with and mess with, and I just didn't want to ruin it, so I just kind of put it aside with the others. So I'm just going to set that one right there. And here is the black Teflon 2 coated blade. And this is the Dark Star. Now, the Dark Star occasionally turns up here and there. They had a Dark Star and a Blue Star. The Blue Star had a divide here with blue liners. This is the Dark Star. It had like a gold liner. And what's kind of interesting about this, it was ATS 34. At the time, Benchmade was using 154 cm. And I used it a little bit, but I decided, hey, this is kind of an interesting knife. I really don't want to beat this one up because it has different hardware. Like if you notice the bolts here, compared to the standard Benchmade, are actually a little bit wider size. And also another thing too is the butterfly logo on the Benchmade on this one's larger. And I think eventually they came out with a larger logo, but this was the first logo before this one. This was kind of the standard logo for a very long time. But this one was the larger butterfly logo, and that's kind of what drew me to that was that butterfly logo. But I just thought that design was wicked. It was just like, you know, total like, you know, Black Ops style knife. You know, it's, you know, you take the thing out and, you know, go to town with it. But once again, I was being realistic. Got it on closeout. I knew there wasn't going to be any more coming around, so I retired it just fast as I carried it. 910S. This is the 910S. Once again, carried this one for a brief amount of time. Retired it almost as fast as I got it. What made me retire this one, okay, was the logo. And there's no steel type on the back, but it's one of Elischwitz's knives. And I'm glad I retired it because eventually Elischwitz became part of design team, Benchmade design team with Bob Trzula. And if you look on here, if you look on that logo, okay, people call butterfly knives Bally Songs. That's the actual, I don't know if it's showing up on that or not, but that's the actual Bally Song logo. Then underneath it says Benchmade USA. So that's why I bought that one, and I was carrying it for a little while. I'd carry it at work. You know, I used to have to go up and throw the reader board, and I'd throw that up there in case somebody, you know, it was at 5 in the morning and it was dark, so I'd carry that. And after a while, I thought, I better not carry that one anymore. So I started carrying that one again, and then I bought that, and I used to carry that for a while, and I thought, oh, I better not carry that anymore. So I started carrying that again, and after a while, it's like, well, I bought that one. I thought, well, I don't want to lose this one. Eventually, that was like that was one of the last ones I put up. I put away retired permanently because I don't want to lose it finally, or just ruin it. So I just started carrying other knives. But anyway, that's the story of all that second bin of knives that I had, and it's kind of not fun to open them back up and go down memory lane and create YouTube content at the same time. So, oh wait, one more. Now this is an interesting story on this one. In fact, it's kind of chapped my hide because I just broke that box when I took it out just now to go look at it. So, this is part of the red line. I think it was called the red line. And what the red line was the first time Benchmade began to produce knives made in China. So this is number 51 out of 1,000. So you have to realize the only reason why I bought this, it was 51 out of 1,000 of the first knives he ever produced in China. I've never carried this. I've never used it. I had no desire to carry it. I had no desire to put any miles on it. I strictly bought it for collectible purposes down the road. So that's the reason why I bought that one. So, okay, it's called the Vex. That's right, it's called the Vex. Well, anyway, that's it. Just had to get that last one. I almost missed that one. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you on the next one. And hey, you know what? Don't let anybody hate on your retro knife collection. You know, don't worry about the haters. Just let the haters worry about you. See ya.